And this video, we're going to continue looking at the Jefferson method. I'm calling it part 2. All right. Remember, what we were doing is reducing the divisor until we have the right number of seats. In the previous video on the Jefferson method, you saw me working out reducing the divisor until we found the right number that we used. And by the way, there's a little bit of a range, was 49,350. You don't have to get exactly usually right on the number, but just within a certain range that gave us the correct number of seats. That was our final apportionment. Let's take a look at another example. This one's about city buses. All right. So a city bus system operates 6 different routes. We're going to call them A, B, C, D, E, and F, and they have 130 buses. Okay. How should the buses be apportioned among the 6 routes based on the average number of daily passengers per route shown in the table below using the Jefferson method? All right, so the first thing we have to do is figure out our divisor, our quota, our lower quota, and then see how we might modify the divisor in that example. So I'm going to use Excel exclusively this time. So let's go over to the Excel window. And you don't have to use Excel at home, but just know that when you guess, you're going to have a little more work. I've already added up the total population to be 130,000. So to find our divisor, I'm going to click in that box there. I'm going to type equals. I'm going to click on my total passenger population, 130,000. That cell, notice it's called B8. I'm going to divide it by the total number of buses. You may remember from the problem, it was 130, right? So my divisor is exactly 1,000. So to find my initial quotas, I'm going to click up in the quota for route A. I'm going to hit equals. I'm going to say it equals the number of passengers divided by our divisor. All right. And we're going to get that number there. I'm going to show you a little extra shortcut this time. If you click back on that cell, you go up to B11 and you put a $sign in front of the B and after the B. You'll get the same number when you hit enter. But the difference is now, if you move your cursor to the bottom right corner where it changes to a solid plus sign, you can click and drag, and it basically copies and pastes that formula through all the cells, makes it a little bit faster. Now, remember the trick was just to chop off the decimal, right? Just take the first number. There is also a function for that. It's called floor. All right. So I'm gonna use that one right now. You have to hit equals first, and then floor, and then there are some arguments. All right. So you're gonna want to put a parentheses. The number that you're wanting to do, which is the number next to it. Click on the previous cell. So that's the 45.3. It's called cell C2, comma, and then a significance. I can't remember if it's 0 or 1. Let's try 0. 0, and then put close parentheses. That did not get it. Let's try a 1 instead of a 0. Right? Let's try a 1. There it is. All right. So you click on the previous, let me go through that one more time, right? Hit equals, right? Type floor, parentheses, click on the cell to the left, divide by comma 1, close parentheses, not divide by. And then that can also be dragged down. And you have this. The advantage is you can do them all at once, and then you can sum all those up and see that you have 128 buses. That means we need 2 more, right? We need 2 more is what we're looking for. All right. So I'm going to use technology to redo that by just changing the divisor. Now, by hand, if you're doing this by hand, you would, type in a new number like, I don't know, 9,000, not 9,000, but 950, and you would try redoing it. Since I already have it in Excel or Google Sheet, it's easier than that. You don't have to redo anything on a different piece of paper. You can just type a different number in here. You could try typing 900 and watch the whole thing populate. Whammo, right? Everything changed. Notice the seats, the buses, not the seats, went to 141. That means it went way too far. Let's try 950. Oop, 133, still too much. Let's go a little bit higher, 960. Didn't change, 975. There it is. We have exactly our 130 buses. So that means that those numbers are exactly our final apportionment right there. All right. So route A gets 46, 31, so on to the very end. Again, by hand, it's going to take longer to guess and check and redo the quotas every time with technology. The reason I'm showing you is it can save you a little bit of time. I hope that this video is useful in that regard. If you would like any of these with more information or help about the formulas, just reach out to me and I'll do my best to help.